Hello, Gerby.
Tell me what the protocol is again. Alrighty, I believe I am on. Hello everyone. I hope that whatever was going on with Sonic Adventure 2 was good. I mean, game's kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. We have got some real gaming coming up. We have got the cinematic experience of Knuckles in Sonic Adventure. I have got a lovely commentator alongside me for this epic journey.
Hello, I'm Nimpert, and I'm here to commentate this epic journey.
Epic. Alrighty, so Dreamcast, you're gonna realize quickly why it is 3 times as long as the standard PC run of this game very quickly. But we are gonna pick our save file and we are gonna jump into it.
Before you do that, could you share your screen again in Discord? Because
Oh, yeah.
on room switching it disappeared.
Sure, because we like to keep our commentators up in the loop.
Thank you.
Although, to be fair, this is quite a slow run to keep track of. I'm sure that everybody will be able to keep track of it quite well. So, one thing that I will say is that, hello, this is a Dreamcast controller. And actually, speaking of Dreamcast, this is not my allegiance for a particular club, but I'm wearing this kit. It's official Sega Dreamcast sponsorship. So, I am going to take the VMU out so that I can keep my save file for Knuckles. You are going to see me very often pressing B in this a lot because, yeah, we have to skip loads of scenes that say, oh, we don't have a memory card. So I'm going to get the run going in 3, 2, 1. Hopefully after Knuckles does his funny punching, we will go. And Nim, over to you.
Yeah, alright. So, you know how usually we run on PC and, you know, the categories are named like Sonic Story, Tails Story, Knuckles Story. Well, to be honest, I think that's kind of misleading because you don't actually see the story at all. But here on Dreamcast, the speedrun really lives up to its name, and we get to experience the full story. Because the Dreamcast version can't skip any cutscenes. That means we get to see the beautiful, as far back as I can remember, I've been living cutscene right here, but we see it in full. So turns out there is actually more sentence after I've been living. The sentence does not stop there. There goes more. There's more. There is an actual story. The sentence continues, and we get to experience Knuckles' story for real. Except this particular case is in Japanese, so if you don't know Japanese, that's unlucky. But we get to at least see everything. So yeah. So you're gonna see right now, aside from that we're watching cutscenes, everything looks a lot different in this version of the game, and that is because this version has a lot of different visuals, lots of different models, lots of new, not new, old light shaders actually, but they took them out in later versions. And just not a very hot take, but it is somewhat of a personal opinion. I think this version looks significantly better than all later versions of the game, which makes this wonderful to play casually. Of course, not the ideal version to speedrun, because of the cutscenes mostly, and load times and such, but still a really cool experience. So aside from having the extra time spent watching cutscenes, there's also gonna be a couple of differences in the game. Some couple different strats here and there. A general big difference that affects most runs, not so much Knuckles though, is that Dreamcast forces the autocam, and we can't switch it here. But it looks like we are almost in the gameplay, and it looks like, oh no, our runner fell asleep. Hip, get ready, get ready, get us.
Alrighty.
I was kind of scared there. I'm not actually sure how long this cutscene takes, but I saw you were all snoozed away.
Thank you for
And,
the wake up call. That was much appreciated. So
Alright.
we saw very quickly as we finally were able to control Knuckles, we have a little notice that says memory card not found. So we have to do that after I've actually got a list on the back of an envelope here of all the different places where we have to mash B before we can actually start like progressing in the story. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it now. I am by no means like a good Knuckles runner. I believe my I think my SADX like PC time is like 44th on the board at the moment, but I enjoy the funny obscure runs of this game. It's definitely, yeah, there are very many ways to experience, and I think it's great that the boards have every way of doing so.
Yeah. And I will say Hip's PB is actually very solid in the Dreamcast version of this run. Yeah, just about. I currently have the record for Dreamcast in this category, and I think Hip is only about 20 seconds behind, which is very little for half an hour run. Unfortunately, here, yeah.
Oh dear, that was not great checking from me. That's a
happens. Yeah, I would have expected like you went pretty far towards the balcony. I would have thought that it would have pinged by then, but apparently not.
So that was another memory card mashing B. I actually, when I first sort of started running this game, I've been given pointers on how to do it. Get rid of the memory card before you enter the story, and I was like, oh no, I thought my Dreamcast had like properly crashed. So yes, I just didn't press B, which was silly of me.
To be fair, the message that there's no memory card inserted looks very threatening.
Yeah, and the fact that the game completely seizes up, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
yeah,
what have I done?
The screen freezes, and there's like this big menacing red text on the screen, memory card not found, and you think it's broken, but no, you can just press B and continue.
Yeah. Now, one thing that the director's cut runners do get as an advantage when it comes to this game is you can actually see like where the pieces are, whereas it's a little bit harder with come on, sorry, my monitor cut out for a second there. Yeah, it's much harder with this lighting engine to see where the pieces are.
Yeah, they get really dark.
Totally intentional death right there. Let's go. So, I don't know where this third piece is. There we go. So it's going to be down here, hopefully. And then we want to make our way over, I believe, I don't know whether it's something that you've tried, Nim. I don't think you can get into the, you can clip.
I'm not actually sure, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of clips that work on PC or other DX versions of the game that don't work on Dreamcast. I actually cannot recall if you can do the clip in here on Dreamcast. If I've ever had the opportunity, like I've run this myself, but I'm not sure if I ever run into this opportunity. Yeah.
Ooh, that's another example. Well,
yep.
I mean, I would do the going to sleep act again, but let's engage with the story. Let's really find out what's going on with Knuckles, because I think it's no secret that I quite like Knuckles. Knuckles is a pretty cool guy. And I mean, I adore this game and its many different iterations, and I think, I don't know, the story in this game, as wild as it is, I love it. And I'm sure a lot of you folk do as well. Nim, do you like the story of Sonic Adventure? What are your thoughts?
I love the story. It's like a very nice balance between lighthearted and goofy and kind of like a bit dark. Like the way, like I feel like SA206 Shadow, they get really dark, but what I like about SA1 specifically that it balances it really nice. So I really love this game.
Nice, you love to hear it. Another thing I will say is, well, I mean, I showed it off earlier. For the uninitiated, Dreamcast controllers are quite something to use. I don't know whether this is the case with most analog sticks for it, but my one is not drifting, but it's certainly got, I don't know, something's are up with it. So Yeah, I'm never truly just going straight forward sometimes.
Yeah, that's normal. Like
Yeah.
there's like on the Dreamcast stick, there's like a weird dead zone, like perfectly straight up. So if you want to run in a straight line, it always goes slightly either to the left or to the right, so you constantly have to readjust.
Thank you,
Also,
Sligo.
important difference between versions here. On PC, after this cutscene, you
Hmm.
get to do cream skip, where you punch out of the cutscene and move a little earlier. But on Dreamcast, there's no cream at all, so you get instant cream skip without having to do anything. So basically, free time save. So that means Dreamcast is the fastest version.
Yeah, totally. Yes, we love to hear it. Also, another thing, the sharp-eyed amongst us would have seen that I've got a rumble pack in my Dreamcast controller as well. So we are truly immersed in this experience. I really feel like I'm Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic Adventure. But we are moving on to Chaos 2, which, oh, it's got a manip, but it's a dodgy one.
Yeah. So technically, the manip for this boss is the exact same on Dreamcast, but the problem is the hitbox is extremely different. So the cool thing about PC is what you do to do the manip is you just glide into his hitbox, and the shape of the hitbox kind of allows you to stay in place while gliding into him. Because the hitbox on PC is called sort of like cylinder shaped, like it's got a more or less flat surface that allows you to stay in place. But the hitbox on Dreamcast of Chaos 2 is more like a sphere, I think. And when you try to glide into him, he pushes you above him. And that means you can't glide into him and stay in place, so you don't get the good setup for the manip. That means you sort of have to do the manip sort of freehand without any sort of setup, which is very tricky. I mean, even if you do get the setup on Dreamcast on PC, it is still not the easiest manip in the world. But if you've gotten it down, you can get it pretty consistent. But on Dreamcast, you really have to like completely do it by feel, more or less.
Also, we keep all
So,
of our rings from casinos, so
oh yeah,
that's nice. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
See, that's the hitbox in action here. You saw how Hip got pushed above Chaos
Oh,
there.
again.
Yeah, but not doing too bad. That's pretty solid.
Ooh. Always the last
Yeah,
couple of hits a little bit dodgy.
yeah, pretty good.
More story, more exposition.
Yeah, Knuckles is pondering the blob now.
Who out there pondering they blob? I'm just trying to think of other sort of differences, anything that really sticks out, but I think up until it's actually, I mean, relatively recent, speaking in sort of the entirety of Sonic Adventure speedrunning. There was a different Lost World clip that we can talk about when we get there, which was, yeah, it was certainly interesting. But that's changed, that's different, and it's sort of quite like what you see in the normal Dreamcast runs.
We'll get there when we get there, but yeah, there's quite a funny story behind that on Dreamcast, but I'll tell it when we get there.
Also, this is probably one of the scariest screens when it comes to your memory card's not found. As Possessed Knuckles, and then it fades to like a weird pink and blue void. So yes, there will be many moments where you think, oh yeah,
Sega really wanted you to feel very uncomfortable when you play this without memory card.
You don't have a VMU? How dare you?
You better now think that your game is cursed and you are part of some sort of creepypasta.
Every copy of Sonic Adventure is personalized. Alright, so we're straight back in. We gotta do what you know we gotta do. So we are gonna find Monkey Destruction Switch, or is it Detonation Switch?
Destruction.
Destruction.
Detonation is way too specific. Would not be nearly as funny if it was Detonation, because that specifies what exactly it does. But Destruction is just like monkey gone.
This is so sad. Ooh. Yeah, this is when auto camera really comes into its own.
Yeah, I mentioned again, you cannot switch camera modes on Dreamcast. Which, personally for me, I play Knuckles in autocam anyway, so it's not a big deal for Knuckles. But nowadays, most people actually play in freecam, which yesterday in my race with Voitas, I've been roasted for that by Shovelclaws, which is very fair.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of stories that make heavy use of freecam, like Amy or Sonic Story, are very, very different on Dreamcast, simply because of the fact that you have to work around with autocam. Also, look at this area right here on Dreamcast. All the trees that you have in this area on this version, it's beautiful. It looks completely different. It looks so nice.
It is. It's luscious. Like, you actually want to spend time there.
Yeah, it is
Alrighty.
a complete different vibe.
We gotta check the mountain. Is there anything? Just for safety. I don't know when it starts pinging over this side.
Yeah, go a
Yeah,
bit
very
further
safe.
than
Alright, we're going back.
Yeah, okay, I
So,
think you're good.
I think I saw something over here. Or maybe... I'm going goofy. I'm going goofy. Don't kill me, please. There we go. Interesting first piece. We going up here for this one? Yeah. Over here. Okay, and then somewhere over. Very nice. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty solid set.
standard. I think, yeah, if we didn't check the mountain, that could have been a little smoother, but is what it is. Then another mashing B here, I believe, yeah. And another...
But yeah,
no, not another cutscene. It's...
I don't know if you're very used to the DX version of the game, just like visually taking in the beauty of the Dreamcast version, I think is a very nice experience. Because it looks all so much different, especially like in the Angel Island area and such, and the lighting during nighttime and all that.
One thing I will say is that we're not getting the true experience, because this is currently going through an upscaler through my Dreamcast to an upscaler, and then whatever's being captured on the other side, and we're not getting sort of like nice sort of mushy composite. We're getting sharp polygons, which each to their own. But I think that raises a good debate. Director's cut models or original models? What do we think? I'm a big fan of the original models. I think the Dreamcast ones serve a good purpose.
I think Dreamcast is a little more charming, but at the end of the day, I think I do prefer the DX models. Even though Dreamcast, I think overall looks much nicer, but just the character models, I do prefer the newer ones. But it's a debate to be had. There's no clear answer here. Whereas when it comes to the entire game graphics beyond just the character models, that is very clear which one has the upper hand here.
Yeah, and I think the modern ones, that like the modern designs, DX designs, I think were more sort of suited to the artwork that Yuji Uekawa was going for. And
yeah,
oh, I mean, that's one thing that the Sonic like adventure era series will go. Maybe not 06 and Heroes of Shadow, but like, yeah, that art style is just flawless, so good. But the Sonic fight that you saw there is like, I don't think anything's really changed from what you might expect. I just did it slower because I wasn't on the ball at all. But yet again, if you do hit Sonic too quickly, hits won't register. That's not a DX thing. I imagine a lot of people will think, oh, this is a typical DX thing, but no, even Dreamcast isn't perfect.
Yeah, the infamous ghost hits makes this very trivial looking fight kind of tricky for speedrunners, because if you go too fast, you're screwed.
True. Cursed Suffering from success. Oh no.
N-
Oh no.
No.
I don't have a backup save.
Oh no.
Okay. This will be interesting. Right. I don't know where we go from here. So this is just something that can happen with Dreamcasts. They're temperamental. Let's I mean, we're 17 minutes into the run. I don't know what we do. Let me have a look. I might have another save, but it's probably got Knuckles 100%ed, so I don't have another save. I should have kept the VMU in, Nim.
I said if there is risk of yours resetting, like put it in. I don't know. It's never done that for me.
See, that hasn't done that for me either. So I'm gonna. I mean, my estimate that it's gonna go overestimate at this rate.
I guess what you could maybe do is, if you have a 100% save file, just go into that and go into the hub world and just do the levels from there, the remaining ones. Maybe you can do that.
I don't think I do have a 100% one. Well, actually, I could have checked another VMU because I've got some VMUs overloading. I don't know what we do in this situation. I'm checking the Twitch chat, so if staff are gonna sort of suggest something, maybe we just do the first couple of stages again. Because, I mean, Knuckles is all about repetition. You've watched Sentis and stuff like that, so I'm sure you don't mind seeing the same stuff all over again. But yes, no, this is an issue that I did have ages ago with a different copy of the game. But since moving over to the Japanese copy, everything sort of seemed alright, and I'd been getting away with that sort of thing, and it hadn't been happening. So yes, maybe it is time to inspect the Dreamcast and see what's going on with that. So
what even happened? It seemed like it suddenly didn't read the disk anymore. Or did the Dreamcast reset itself? Because the resetting happened to me as well, but...
Yeah, Dreamcast reset itself.
Oh, really? It went instantly to the menu. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, it is what it is.
Old hardware.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Well, we will keep on going until we find out intel on how we should proceed. But everybody, I hope you enjoy the first cutscene, because we've got it again.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about the things that we would have seen in this run?
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
There isn't really anything that is much different from the director's cut version. Like, yeah, there isn't much that's really changed apart from jungle's awkward because you're in autocam. But I think I've got used to it at this point.
So I can mention the funny story about Lost World that I promised earlier.
Thank you. Please do.
So you all of you who are aware of Knuckles Story speedruns probably know what Lost World looks like. So you typically clip through the wall into Sonic section, and then from there you finish the stage. So for the longest time, the strat that was done on Dreamcast was not the one you typically see on PC runs nowadays, where you pause clip through the wall, but instead you go a little higher up into a tunnel which has moving flaming blocks in the wall that you can punch through, and from there you can fall down into the tunnel that leads to Sonic's ending of the stage. So that was the strat we did on Dreamcast. And that is also, fun fact, the very, 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 very old strat that you used to do on PC, like, not quite 10 years ago, but probably like at least 6 years ago, I would say. But yeah, we kept doing this old strat on Dreamcast because we thought you can't do the pause phasing strat to get into Sonic's ending. So at some point I was doing Dreamcast runs on stream, and I was using the old I was using the old Lost World clip strat, and someone in my chat was like, "Hey, have you ever actually like checked if the usual clip strat works?" And I was like, "Actually, good point. I've never actually checked." And then I tried it, and it worked. And so it
Alright.
turns out, huh?
Alright, I believe I'm just going to quickly say that we have got a plan. We are going to say goodbye to the Dreamcast for this showing, but we're actually going to head on over to my PB. I don't know how we're quite going to display this.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
We are going to go over to that, and I don't know whether we're going to head into an intermission to do so. I'm sure I will get intel on that very, very soon. But yes, we will get this full run. Don't worry, you will see the full beauty that is Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. Okay, I think I'm going to have to do this on the fly. So, let's find it. I think I might actually have a video of this somewhere. Let's have a look. Most recent PB. No, most recent PB was... I'm just going to take the one that has just straight game audio, and feed. So, let's have a look. So I don't know whether you mentioned earlier, Nim, but what is your PB currently at the moment?
I believe it's a high 32.
Then I believe I think I missed a 32 the other day. I choked on... Oh, what was it? I think I choked on... Oh, I can't even think of it. I think I choked on Chaos 6. So we are going to move this over here.
Live marathon splicing, exclusive to here.
Right, okay, we're gonna skip forward. Then we'll commentate. Hopefully the audio isn't too loud, it probably is. Just gonna turn it down a little bit. So from Chaos 4 onwards is what we were looking for. This isn't my PB, but this is a one from not too long ago. So let's go Chaos 4. Right. I mean, Chaos 4 is Chaos 4, innit? That genuinely is nothing different from this. I will also get rid of game audio from my Dreamcast and turn that off.
It looks different though.
Yeah. It looks nicer.
All the water is different.
Dare I say I got blue balls in this PB? We will find out. We will find out. The anticipation. I'm sure you will enjoy it.
I think there's like a weird thing with Chaos 4 on other stories where the timer starts running during the intro cutscene of the boss, but for some reason it doesn't happen on Knuckles. So I think for the other stories you get like an extra 5 seconds on the final time for some reason, just because the timer starts running early. I have no idea why that doesn't happen on Knuckles.
just Knuckles things, you know.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It's a good Chaos 4 so far. No blue balls.
Thank you very much. I did it myself.
I mean, you literally did.
I didn't speak too soon though. I think I found myself. I think quite a lot of runners find themselves in a spot where like they absolutely nailed all of the boss strategies, and then like you enter a slump and you're just like,
oh yeah,
I can't do this anymore. How can I just not do this anymore?
Yeah, it happens. So yeah, boss fight is the same as on the PC version, just like wait for movement, wait for attacks, and then as he comes out of the water you attack him. And the last phase is a bit longer with 3 attack phases, and now boss finish with 132, very solid time.
Thank you very much. And I think we are also going to see one thing that the Dreamcast really does struggle with, and that's Chaos 6 later on, because oh boy, the slowdown that you can sort of inadvertently get in that stage is scary.
Oh yeah, it's as beautiful as the Dreamcast version looks, it does chuck a little bit every once in a while on the frame rate.
Yeah. So now we're gonna admire his lovely set of eggs in his egg carrier. And then Nin, because you've done, I mean, you've dabbled in all the stories across most of the platforms. What
In most, it's to PC and Dreamcast I've done, but yeah.
more than the average Joe? What is the what other sort of unique things do other stories have when it comes to Dreamcast? Because I feel like more people should try Dreamcast if they have one kicking about. Because
I mean, for one, what I've already mentioned is for one the weird dead zone on the analog stick and also the locked autocam, which is basically quite a big adjustment for just like everything very basic, because like just regular movement feels different on this version. So every little thing, even if it seems trivial, feels slightly different. But also I've mentioned this earlier, but there's a lot of clips on the DX version that don't work on Dreamcast. So a lot of stages get completely alternative skips. The probably most prominent example is falling down here.
yeah, that's not good.
But quick backup, you instantly knew where to go, so that's not that big of a time loss actually. But yeah, a lot of stages on Dreamcast version actually do get completely unique skips. I think the biggest example to look at would probably be Final Egg and Sonic Story, where the strat that you do on PC don't work at all for Act 2, so you have to do a completely different. You have to basically do huge parts of Act 2 as intended and then do a completely different clip. But also the Dreamcast version gets a skip on Final Act that allows you to not have to play the stage at all. But it's very, 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 very difficult. Basically, you can clip out right at the beginning of the stage and jump on a capsule that floats out of bounds and beat the stage in 5 to 6 seconds. But that's extremely difficult. I don't recommend anyone going for that in runs. But yeah, that's just an example of how different the Dreamcast version is in some cases. But yeah, we're back now in Lost World. I mentioned this earlier. So Hib actually does go for the pause clip here, the way you do on PC. But for the longest time, we thought that wasn't possible on Dreamcast. And then at some point, a viewer on my stream suggested to just try it. And I tried it, and it somehow worked, and it blew my mind. I think the reason we thought it wasn't possible is because actually the pause menu works completely different on the Dreamcast version. And that makes the executing this clip slightly awkward on Dreamcast, even though mechanically it's technically the exact same. So what you do on PC is you glide into the wall, you pause, and then you keep holding up to keep your momentum as soon as you unpause, and then you unpause with B. And then and if you press B when the game is paused on PC, the pause menu always unpauses. So it doesn't matter where in the menu you are. You always unpause if you press B. So it's very simple to just unpause. But that's not the case on Dreamcast. On Dreamcast, you actually have to be in the menu on continue and then select it with start, which means
the start button, just for reference, is here. It's nowhere near all of the other face keys.
It's very far away. So you have to glide into the thing, and then pause, and then put your finger over. Like, first you have to make sure you're on continue in the pause menu, and then you have to kind of like awkwardly unpause with start, and then eventually you clip if you manage to switch to holding up quick enough. It's really awkward to physically do, but technically it's the exact same trick as on PC. It's just like, it's really weird. So probably a lot of people were like, it's not possible. I don't know.
When I first started doing runs of this, quite often I accidentally quit out of the stage because I was holding it up on the analog stick and it just was not happening for me.
Might also just that no one's ever checked it because Dreamcast has way less players, and the strat that we did for the longest time on Dreamcast used to be the PC strat, so maybe since then there were no new Dreamcast players that actually bothered to check. That might also be the case, but either way, there were like a good 4 or 5 years or so where we thought the pause clip wasn't possible on Dreamcast. But yeah.
Someone has raised the point about whether the running
Oh
way,
yes,
whether
that's
that would
very
be plausible. I imagine there would like
yeah
be
right.
good reason to do so.
This is actually a very good point. I completely forgot about that. Thank you for pointing that out. Because the running variant of this clip does not work on Dreamcast. That's probably also the reason why we thought it didn't work, because the original version of this clip was the running variant, and the gliding into it variant only came later as an optimization. So probably when this clip was found, people only knew the running version, tried on Dreamcast, and it's like, if you do that on Dreamcast, Knuckles doesn't keep running into the wall. He just kind of stops and then pushes into it while standing still. So people were probably like, okay, it doesn't work. But then later we got the optimization of actually gliding into the wall instead of running into it. And then you could do it. But by that time, no one bothered to check anymore for a while. So we thought it wasn't possible.
That's so
That's
strange.
a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, that's the correct history of this skip on Dreamcast.
All right, now everybody, peep how long it takes for the no memory card found message to come up here. And there we go. For whatever reason, like usually when other cutscenes have finished and it goes back to gameplay, like it will just be quite instant, or it will do it before you can actually start moving. Whereas there, it takes like a good solid moment to be like, yeah, okay, no, they don't have a memory card. It's just Dreamcast things. Have a bit of an issue with the minecart there.
To be fair, everyone has issues with that minecart.
Regardless of platforms.
Regardless of who the runner is, regardless of platform.
We also had a moment when, before going into Lost World, with the keys. So the first key, like, the collision just wasn't there. And, like, I was trying to pick up the key whilst I was inside the key. Yes, I mean, it shouldn't be really a surprise, because this game it do be Sonic Adventure. And although this isn't my most recent PB, in my current PB, I managed to get the speed shoes when picking up the second key. So I'm just gonna flex that because it's never gonna happen again.
Yeah, you gotta savor that moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna live off that one for a while. So yeah, we still rolling. We got some more cutscenes to look at.
I think in like it's about 10,000 attempts and over 300 finished runs in Knuckles Story, I don't think I ever got speed shoes in the jungle. I don't think I got it a single time.
You got it after picking up the shovel claws, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple times there, but I don't think I ever got it in the jungle. So that's wild.
So it'd be another getting rid of the memory card, and then running over everything standard. I believe the ship still disappears in this version. Of course, I'm not trying it out in my PB because I want to go fast.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Funny game. And yeah, that's a product of sort of mashing B too fast to try and get out of things. You will get that combo, you will get that punch, but yeah, I believe my Skydeck in this run was actually rather alright. I think it actually carried my run in the end, but we shall see. We shall see.
We shall see.
I'll tell you what, execution won't be very good because I mean, Dreamcast sort of inputs aren't always truly read, and but you know, we do our best. And also, I'm not a particularly special Knuckles runner.
Oh, the Switch. Classic Switch.
I'm really the guy who just said, "Oh yeah, this carried my run." Also,
it's a good first,
yeah, the restart only just about saves you time.
Yeah, that takes much longer than on PC. Oh wow, that is really good RNG. Assuming PS2 cooperates. Yeah, you might not want to restart after pieces on console versions.
I think in Dreamcast it only just about saves you time, whereas if you want to do it in Xbox, that's another version that I've had a sort of a punt at running. And to bring up the menu, when you press the start button, especially on 360 on what it was made for, if you press the start button, it takes like a good nearly a second until the menu comes up, and then you've got to go to restart, and then it asks you whether you really do want to restart.
Yeah,
And
there's this
then you press the
extra
button.
there's this
And
extra menu prompt on Xbox that takes up more time.
yeah, so that's
It's funny whenever I watch an Xbox runner and they restart, me as a PC runner think they are quitting the stage, and I think they're rage quitting, and then I'm like, no, don't stop. But they're just restarting.
Also, this is another example of this game just looking beautiful. Like,
Yeah, the lighting is so good here.
yeah, so butchered in Director's Cut. I think it's an absolute travesty that they were like, yeah, this looks fine. Let's release this. Oh, what could have been? What could have been? Imagine, I mean, shoutouts to anybody who's modded Sonic Adventure and sort of, well, a Director's Cut and made it, like, a better game, because, yeah, there was a lot that Sega missed. Bless them, they think they tried. But yeah, all of, like, the Dreamcast conversion mods, to make it sort of more true to the source material. I think all those efforts are greatly appreciated. So yeah, we've got a very sort of brooding looking Knuckles with this lighting. And yeah, off we go.
Yeah, the Dreamcast models are definitely more expressive.
Oh yeah, yeah. In terms of animation with the... Yeah. Another reason why this is the best version of the game. Speedrunning or otherwise. You get to have a nap. You saw at the start. This game is nap friendly. Sort of get rid of the Final Fantasy runners with like 9-hour-long runs with a 20-minute nap point. Like, this is where it's at.
And you also got time to read chat. There's no rush in this. You saw the Knuckles Centurion earlier. It's so stressful. You get no downtime for 50 minutes. But this, you get so much time to take a drink, to read chat, to take a nap even.
The real estate is incredible in this game.
Yeah. All right. Final boss.
6. So I mentioned this earlier. There is, like, if you look at what's going on, like, there is quite a bit going on, especially when Chaos 6 is in, because, you know, Sega got quite, well, Sonic Team got quite sort of technical with what they could do with Chaos, and all of those water effects do take a bit of a toll on the Dreamcast, and as you can see, there's a bit of fog as well, and there are going to be quite a few animations rolling when you get into Chaos 6, and you will see when I start gliding at some point that the game is going to chug. It's going to chug quite a bit. So, yeah, look forward to that. And I can't remember how well this boss fight goes. It's probably better in this PB than my new one, because I think I choked potential world record on Chaos 6 because funny hitboxes. That's what I'm blaming. It's totally not because I'm a bad gamer. But here is Chaos 6. It's the usual strategy, sort of try and make sure you have one of these capsules ready for when you need it. And gliding over here, there you go. There you go. Look at the game go. And there we go, back to normal. And then I think this is a little nicer to me here. Yeah. So usual throw over, get a capsule, rinse and repeat.
Solid. But yeah, those frame drops are harsh.
And then we are one more hit away, and we're overestimate, but blame Sega and making the Dreamcast for that. And that is technically time.
GG. Congrats on doing that run right now.
Thank you. I can't believe that I really just did that run right now. Yeah, I mean, I love this game. I love this category, and it's a shame that we didn't get to see it sort of all in its improv fashion, but I've enjoyed being able to showcase this, and it's something that I do plan on keeping words. Anyway, I want to keep on doing this because this game's fun, and can't let in be sitting too comfy at first place. So
oh, I'm not comfy at all. I'm expecting you to beat me there soon.
So yeah. For the sort of few people who might have a Dreamcast kicking about and a means to record and run the game, do, because it's fun. I think it's sort of slept upon. I think a few shout outs to the Dreamcast runners out there, sort of Broby, Icky, Nim, of course, Lem, yeah, like all of the folks who have done some Dreamcast times, because I think this is slept on, certainly slept on.
I agree.
But we're gonna, yeah, let's see the finishing cutscene. I think I recorded enough of this VOD, so yeah, it should be good. Everybody, Serenity is restored, or is it? We didn't do perfect chaos here, but who cares? Who cares about the other guys? This game is about Knuckles.
Yeah. That's why it's called Knuckles Adventure.
So true, so true. Also, I'm gonna do one last flashing of the Dreamcast kit because I don't know. I think it's quite fun. I don't like Arsenal though. Arsenal can get in the bin. And yeah, those were all the cutscenes. No, that's a lie. We've got 2 more. We've got this and then 1 more in-game cutscene. But that's Sonic Adventure. All of the Sonic Adventure peeps are super, super cool. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say. If you don't know Nim, then you should get to know Nim. Go follow Nim. Nim's cool.
Thank you. Also follow Hib, please.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I made it obvious earlier. I like Knuckles. I like Knuckles in classic capacity and in the adventure capacity. Although, having said that, I have no idea when I'm gonna try and take on Sonic Adventure 2 Knuckles, because that's scary. And yes, so maybe at some point. But I enjoy all the other Knuckles, and I think just in general, I find it incredible that the Sonic series spans so many crazy games. Even the Adventure series is like such a broad range. All of the classics are really cool, and yeah, I think I'm a big advocate for Sonic in general. So if you feel like you need to get into a Sonic game, or you don't know what to get into in terms of a Sonic game, then you should totally get into this game. So that's all I've got to say. I don't know who's next, but I can assure you that with the schedule that the staff have put on for this, it's going to be very good. So don't go anywhere and keep watching the Sonic Adventure speedrun marathon. Guys, you've got to come up with a better name. That's all I'm going to say. See you around.
See ya.
We'll get it. We'll get it.